Hey guys, and welcome to the latest Kronos review diaries. Today we want to talk about a brand we're really excited to have here at Kronos and that is Davone from Denmark. Davone may not be a brand name that's particularly familiar to you, and they are quite particular about their dealer network. So for that reason, they're maybe not as well known as some of the larger brands, but in many ways that is a huge advantage. So for anyone that doesn't know about Davone, Davone was started by a guy called Peter Schenkel, who literally, when he was 14, designed his first speaker. He essentially wanted to update the sound quality of his clock radio, took it apart, and actually bought four Philips 8-inch drivers in a quadratic formation and improved the sound. And that's where he developed the love for speaker design. He later went on, he studied aeronautics and physics to better help him with speaker design, and from that he has put a lot of the sciences and a lot of that knowledge into what he does today. So that's another thing we love about Davone. It's obviously very easy for someone to say that a speaker sounds good, but he can back it up with the science, and he is meticulous in the way that he does that. So much so that the speaker technology that they use to take measurements, and the programs they use to take measurements, Peter didn't think was accurate enough. Anything in the market he didn't feel was accurate enough, so he actually designed his own MLS software that is ultra precise, because he wasn't happy about it, and that's the way the other were, and that's what's one of the big details of Davone, the precision and the amount of detail they go into is sensational. You can see here we have the Davone Studio, which is the one we're focusing on today. I'm sure even from the camera you can see this is a sublimely finished speaker. Literally you can go around this and there is not one imperfection, and they're that dedicated to the detail of what they do. And as I mentioned before, Davone are not a brand you're going to see everywhere. They are very particular about the dealers that they do take on, and we're very proud to be one of those. When you ring up Davone to speak to them about becoming a dealer, you can't simply just ask, I want to be a dealer, and tell them that you'll bring in X, Y, and Z. There's a discussion, they have to go through it. They want to be very particular about the dealer network that they put together. I think you'll understand maybe if you come in and see these speakers why they're so particular. There's something very special about Davone. It's one of those things that's very hard to put your finger on exactly what it is, but there is something that makes these speakers stand out from the crowd. Every member staff here has just fallen in love with Davone from the moment they've come in. And believe it or not, they've become our best selling speaker in store already, which is just unbelievable. When you do come in and see these in store, they just stand out a mile from everything else. We've had so many customers come in to hear other speakers, to do demos. They spotted these, just in the store, and they've asked about them. We put them on for demo, and like that, it's just they fall in love as well. As I said, there's just something very special about Davone. We can't quite put our finger on it, but there is something that really makes these stand out. Today, as I said before, though, this is the Davone Studio. So this is their stand mount or bookshelf version of the speaker. As you can see, it comes with this nice round base plate. So the advantage actually of the Studio is it can't come with this base plate. They have another stand which can be purchased separately, which is in more of a U design, and that is designed for more bookshelves or side cabinets. But also you can buy this Davone as well with its own dedicated stand. So this works as both a stand mount or bookshelf speaker, which is really unique, and they've taken again that attention to detail. Rather than just say it's one of those things, they've made stands that dedicated to be exactly that, and where you place it therefore means that the stands are working exceptionally well in that environment. It's just that attention to detail again that they won't go into. But yes, the Studio is, again, as you see, it's a stunningly made product. These are all hand built in Denmark. Davone use 5-axis CNC again for that precision. This cloth grill here you see in the front is all put on by hand. There's exceptionally good technology here, all built in. It is just a real work of art, and sonically speaking, these are so natural. That's the thing that stands out for us. Straight out of the box, they sound really good. Obviously, they do get better with more and more running time, but even out of the box, these sound exceptional. But it's the naturalness, I think, that these produce, which is what really makes them stand out for us. For a speaker, even the stand mounts, which are not particularly big, there's really great bass from these. They work really well. They are rear ported. So while they're not fussy, in fairness, about what rooms they're in, they're really unfussy actually. Obviously the rear port is just something to take into consideration. But yeah, they're just an exceptional speaker. As you can see here, this is the walnut finish. They also come in a black ebony finish. Another thing that's really nice about Davone is though that you can customize them pretty much any way you want. With the studio in particular, you have slight limitations. You can change obviously the walnut or the black side panels, but you have a number of different colours you can use in the cloth. With something like the twist, which is essentially the floor standing version of this, really you can do anything you want. You can change the colour of the side panels, the cloth, you can make them really your own. And that's something again that makes them stand out. Davone are not a huge company, and they don't make any secret of that, but that they feel is part of the charm and what makes them special. Each speaker is genuinely built for each customer. This is not a production line by any stretch of the imagination. Each speaker is built for each customer, but the lead time is only about 2 weeks, which is exceptional. So you're not waiting particularly long, but you do have a speaker that's built just for you in the way that you wanted it. These are properly hand built, and you'll see that the parts are precision made, but it is assembled by hand. And I say, honestly, even if you're maybe not in the market or these speakers maybe just aren't quite for you, please do call in to have a listen and a look at them. We really honestly think everyone deserves to hear a Davone at some point in their lives. And even more, if you're privileged to own a pair, even better. As I say, it's rare for a product like this to come into the store that every one of the staff members pretty much can't find fault in. But the Davone range in general has done that. And as I've said, in store, customers have just all fallen in love with them. We've never seen a response like this really to a speaker range. It's so positive, and I think it is that the looks, you can see the dedication that goes into these, but also when you plug them in, it is that naturalness, that real kind of realism that these can produce. The details are exquisite, but they're not bright, they're not fatiguing. As they say, the bass is really punchy and tight. These just make music sound the way it should. And again, you can just sit down for hours on end listening to the Davones and never become fatiguing. They are just joyous to sit back and enjoy. And obviously visually anyway, in our opinion, they are just stunning to look at. And it's rare again that we've a product maybe in store that there's not something that we could see as a downside, but with Davone, there's very few. They're exceptionally well priced. The studios come in at $2,599. So for a speaker that's hand built, that's finished in the way that it is, with the sound quality that this has, it's very hard to find a negative with it. The twists as well, which we'll do in a later review diaries video, are the same. At their price point, they're incredibly well priced, and I think that's one of the things we like about Davone as well, is that it's not necessarily all about business. It's not about, it is about trying to get the best sound. And I think Peter, when he was doing these, you can see the amount of effort he's went to make sure these speakers are perfect, and I think he's priced them that people can, that make them affordable, so that more people can enjoy them. And I think that's maybe part of the reason he has the dealer network he has. He wants dealers that understand it's about the sound. And we're very privileged to be one of those dealers, and we think we're very glad, to bring these to our customers. As I say, they've had an exceptional response already, and we're really starting to scratch the surface with Davone. You'll see as well, if you want to take a look at the reviews, there is a brand new review from Alan Sercom on Davone's reference speaker. And his only criticism of it at £18,000 is that it's far too cheap. So that's the sort of level you can expect from Davone. They're also a Hi-Fi Plus award winner as well with one of their active models. So yeah, there's a really interesting range. The Studio as a stand mount bookshelf version for us is one of the best on the market at its price point. There's also a nice feature with Davone where you can actually go wireless if you want. There's a module which can be inserted into the back, which makes these completely wireless. That's also again the same in the floor standing version and the twist. So there is lots of options there, but obviously passive speakers are the go-to thing, but it's nice to have the option available there depending on your room and your space and what you need. But certainly all I can say is I just encourage everyone to come in and have a listen and a look at these. Even as if you're not in the market for a speaker at the moment, it's just worth coming in, having a listen, just so you can appreciate these little works of art, to be honest. And they are literally just a joy to the eyes and the ears. And again, we have very little we can say negatively. So please do come in for a listen. You really won't regret it. And of course, this review is very short. And if you'd like more information, we can go much more in depth about Davone, about the technologies that we were discussing very briefly earlier. And obviously all the specs are online, but again, we can go through that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's intrigued you at least into coming in to hear the Davones and to look in this brand more interestingly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this great video. I hope to see you all soon.